all that. All right, so this isn't even a part of the podcast.
Sure. Go ahead and make it. It's fine.
It's not a part of the podcast.
We are live.
This is not a part of the podcast. It's the pre-roll to the podcast. All right, I will just say, well, I have to speak up tonight. Hey, you know what? Let's get started. And right here.
Hi, I'm Bob Nelson, Associate Pastor and Technical Guy Extraordinaire.
We don't have to give titles tonight, right?
Hi, I'm Jake Schriner.
And I am Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is, such as it is tonight, the Compass Conversation podcast. Ha ha! Ho ho! Ho ho ho! We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus. And we're fading back in. Okay.
Yep. So,
I feel so much more animated now that I know that we're live. Like we were just talking, just soft tones
Yep.
a few minutes ago, acting, like a conversation. But that's what this is. But I always speak louder because everything's different. All right, we're missing Tracey,
Yep.
and we're missing Morey tonight.
Mhm.
Although Tracey helped us via telephone. Is it still called a telephone? Mobile.
Anymore, I don't
cellular.
know.
Yeah, cell phone.
Whatever it is, cell phone.
Yep.
He helped us anyway, so he was kind of here. He was here before we started.
It's true.
All right, let's go around the little table. Back in the early days, we started the podcast. There were just three people at the table.
Uh-huh.
It was Tracey, it was Morey, it was me.
There we go. Back to
Back to three.
three.
It's a magic number.
I'm starting our stopwatch so I know how much time we have.
Maybe a short one.
It's going to be a short one though.
So, Bob Nelson, how are you doing? You can tell us whatever you want to tell us, man. Work, your trip, tonight.
Yeah,
Start with tonight even if you want.
So,
Oh, man.
yeah, I'm not a technical guy. I'll leave it there. It took too long to set one camera up. Well, yes. Anyway, it was kind of that day at work too, so I'm going to go back to the trip, which was a great time for the most part.
It was that way at work today too.
Yeah, it was a little bit frustrating at work. Just coming back from vacation, there's so many emails, 181 emails to filter through and whatnot. Most of it was junk, things that it's like, oh, that doesn't apply, no big deal, filter through them. But at the same time, it's like, it's a lot of work to do. And it starts making you question why you go on vacation.
Right. Yeah.
But the vacation was really, really good. We started off in Florence. If you've ever done in Florence, go to Quincy's. It's a restaurant that does only two dishes, filet mignon or prime rib, depending on what part of the week it is. We had the filet mignon, and it was amazing.
I'm hungry now.
Yes,
Yeah.
It was a big one too. Like in the restaurants, you get these little itty bitty things, and it was big, and it was so good, and it was cheap. I mean, we tipped the waitress very heavily because it was 4th of July, and we still walked out of there with with only $55 hitting us.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Filet mignon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Is that all there was? I mean, it's like nothing else, just a filet mignon.
Decent sized potato, a wedge salad, aka a slab of iced
What's the
lettuce.
name of this place again?
Quincy's.
Quincy's
Yes.
in Florence,
Colorado.
Colorado. Okay.
Yes, and there's like 4 or 5 more of them. We passed one in Salida. There's one in Buena Vista. But if they do the same thing, it's worth the drive.
Awesome.
So, and we did Royal Gorge, and Joy walked her legs off, and so yeah, we had a great time with that. And then the next day we got up to Ouray, met my stepson and his family, had a wonderful time with them, and then I got food poisoning or something. And I'm just going to stop right there. Thursday was a very relaxing day.
Why are you here, Bob?
Binging on TV. So
Why are you here tonight?
getting back to normality, whatever normal is.
I think it's funny that this is normal to you.
Yes.
The podcast.
It is, yes.
There was a time when there was no podcast in your life.
It's true.
That's what we did to Jake. We did the same thing. He's here. Hadn't been here very long. Hey, you can be on the podcast. Well, I'm glad you're here. And I appreciate all the effort that you went in. We were without Tracey and without Morey, who normally set all this stuff up.
Yep, and now I know why I need to get here earlier. So I can learn that.
You can learn that stuff.
Yeah.
All of us need to learn that.
Yep.
This as a backup redundancy.
Exactly. And Jake, you're next.
All right,
Both
Jake,
on
yes,
training and how you doing?
I'm good.
How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. It's been.
It's good to see your actual face on the
Yeah, I know.
podcast. As last
now,
time.
instead of the back.
Back of your head.
Talk this way and.
Yeah, just turn around. I'll recognize you better if you turn around.
I'm doing good. Had a very very nice 4th of July with my in-laws, and we cooked out and just had a good time, and it was cool. We were down at their place down near Castle Rock, and we weren't going to go to any fireworks shows or anything, but about 9 o'clock or so, we were just sitting out on the driveway and just watching people set off illegal fireworks in the distance. And then I don't know. So
my house was that?
It sounded like a war zone here. It was crazy, but no, about 9:30. All of a sudden, and we didn't realize we had such a good view of this, but Red Hawk Golf Course down there was putting on a private show.
Oh, yeah.
And their driveway is like maybe a mile from Red Hawk, and so we were standing in the driveway watching, and it was like we had front row seats.
Oh, you're private.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
We were hanging. It wasn't too loud, so Harper had a great time. And no, it was.
She just saw the lights more.
Oh, she had so much fun. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, and her grandma got her some glow sticks, so she was running around messing with those and everything. But it was a great weekend, and I mean, work's been crazy. It's just busy season for work anyway, so that's just kind of how it goes. But we got some new equipment up and running at the shop. It's gonna make us a little more productive, so that's always.
What kind of equipment?
So we have a new CNC plasma table. So we do all sorts of different sign cutting and custom work. It's all programmed and automated cutting, and it's very cool. We got it up and running into last week, and I've been operating the table. Before I let one of the yard guys have at it, I got to make sure I know all of the ins and outs first. So in case there is an issue, I can solve it without having to.
That sounds like our issues for tonight. So after the podcast tonight, we're gonna spend an extra hour, and you're gonna learn how to do it.
We're gonna dive into everything, and we're gonna know this by the time I leave. Yeah, that was good. And last night went swimming at a neighbor's house with Harper and cooked out. And
Great.
It was her first time being in like a pool where she couldn't touch. So she had her life jacket on, and she was a little hesitant at first, but I was in there with her, and she was doing great.
That's so funny. I don't even think about pools in Colorado. I don't know why.
No,
I mean,
they're
in
not
Texas,
that
of course, everybody, so many people have pools and stuff, but I hadn't thought about somebody here having a pool like in their backyard.
Yeah, it's just a little above ground that they had set up for their kids, and it's not super big or anything, but it was definitely, I mean, it's a pool.
I've seen some of those.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Considering especially how hot it has been, I've been so happy that the temps come down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I like it being warm. It's summertime, but what is hot for me today is so different from what it used to be.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of goofy. I mean, and again, we haven't lived in Texas in 6.5 something years or so, but
Imagine going back.
I love everybody and all of my friends in Texas. And there's some great things about Texas I absolutely love. We lived there for a long time, raised our kids there and everything. So it's a great place. It's nothing against Texas. It's so hot, man. It's so hot in the summertime. And again, it's like triple digits weeks on end.
Right.
And that triple digits might not just be 100, it's more like 110, 112. So now for me, and that's the running joke, of course, that my inner core is still cooling off here in Colorado. It's slowly getting there. But it gets into like 70 something now, and I'm like, man, why is it so hot today? 70. Anyway, well, I'm glad you're here. Glad to see your face on the podcast.
Yeah.
Not the back of your head.
This time around, you can see my real introduction.
Your rear end. Your real, I said rear end. No, that was not that. We'll edit that out. Let's try that again. Real.
Give it up.
I think I'll edit that out. Anyway, all right. So,
How are you doing, John?
I was doing great till just now. Okay, all right, calm it down. So So this is a funny podcast in many ways because it is the culmination of a time of crazy. All right, so we had last Saturday, we did the movie night. Sunday morning, and again, I had family come in, good night.
Yeah, following Monday, during the
That's right.
podcast. I was
That's
just about-
right.
yeah.
Yes. So it was, the movie night, we were there late, and we talked about this, I guess, last week too, but then we had Big Sunday, and then as the week went on, that's when all my family started coming in, and we were busy, all the way through Sunday, which was great, the Sunday before. Church on the Green right out here, and that was tiring. My family was still around. I've been in recovery mode ever since. I've been trying to catch up because they didn't leave till Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. So anyway, and in all that time I've had cookouts, I've had, travels to restaurants with groups of people, Glenwood Springs, Glenwood Caverns Big Adventure Park. Oh, and I did want to say this. During one of our welcome questions, we asked what's something that you have done that you'll never do again. And I remember that Joy said, I will never do the swing.
Yeah. It wasn't the swing, it was the round thing.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she should do that again. But
this was
that
Joy during
swing-
that. But this is fun.
I'm just kidding. But anyway, by the end of the day, something had happened to me. I don't know if I was dehydrated or if it was the elevation or just kind of that. I'd gone through that whole week and we were near the end of all of the major activity. But I just started feeling weird. And usually I'll do these things. And Leona, oh my soul, there's nothing she won't do. She's like a daredevil crazy lady sometimes. You've got met my wife, right? You know? Yeah. She's like, yeah, let's go. So I have that swing, and it's like two people on this side, two people on this side, and here's the cliff, and it goes out here like this, and then it's almost like that. And a lot of people want to ride on this inside part, so that when you're like that, you're looking down at the... Well, I was already feeling a little dizzy, and I rarely, there's rarely a time I'll back off of a thrill ride of some kind, but it was near the end of the day, and I was like, I feel really weird. And I kind of had this panicky moment that I might, if I get on that, I think I might pass out, just like in the videos on YouTube and stuff of people, on the slingshot ride or whatever, and they go. So we had this long line, and it was hot, and I was like, I don't know. So Leona was being a pretty good trooper. She goes, well, I can go by myself. What do you mean you go by yourself? But she would have it. No. I was starting to feel less like a man by the moment, right? So I'm like, no, I will, I think I can do it, but man, I don't know. I just looked at that long line, thought about the sun, thought about how I felt, and then and the ride ends, and way here at the front of the line, I'm noticing there are a lot of people on this side of the line, but hardly any on this side. And somebody says, hey, do you guys want to go? It's for this side of the ride, where it's not, you're upside down this way, and then, so you're not seeing down at the cliff, but it's still just as freaky. And they're like, all the way up? They're like, yeah, come on. So we were like almost the back of the line and walked all the way to the front around the deal and got on the thing. And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
Here's open. So they put the thing in, they lock it all in. And I'm sitting there and I just like, yep. I'm looking, I can say I got a little bit of vertigo, and that never really happens. I'm looking at how So I hate to admit this, but I'll just tell you guys. You guys don't tell anybody, all right? Shh. I made a decision. I was going to close my eyes. I never do that on a ride. Ever. So I'm holding on to the thing. Let's go. And I can feel it, and I can feel my stomach going, I'm like, I hope I don't throw up. I hope I don't pass out. Just kept my eyes closed. Yep, I'm just going to get through this thing. And I had already counted how many times it swung, so I was counting them. 1, 2, So now I will probably have to go back and do it with my eyes open.
Well, I've got to go
I
back
don't know what
because
was wrong, but
when we went, that ride was down. And Joy would not have gone on it, but
it's pretty freaky.
Totally wanted to.
It's pretty. It is. I could tell by the feel. I could tell by watching the people. It's like Yeah, that's a tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's got all of the rush of the thing, and then there's that feeling you're about to fall, and then the G's and stuff. So anyway, that's how I am.
Did you at least get the Alpine slide?
No, the lines were really long.
Oh, so
Everybody
sad.
else got to, but see, we were also, and we set this up so we'd walk around with our grandkids.
Oh,
right?
gotcha.
So we were doing that kind of duty for at least 3/4 of the day. And in fact, what happened was they said, "Dad, we want you guys to go and do some of these. We'll watch them now." And so I was like, "Okay, cool, let's do this." But yeah, I had kid duty, but it was fun though because they were cracking me up the whole day. And but there is a new ride there. That is the Mind, the Haunted Mind. Was it there when you were there?
It was not. So just the idea of it just the idea of the name sounds
Oh, it
fun.
was fantastic. I don't know if you've ever been on one of these rides, Jake, where they just kind of push you up and just drops you.
Yeah.
All right. So I did that at Six Flags years ago. It's called a cliffhanger, and you're just riding up, you seeing everything. Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've added some story. All right, and you go into this place. I wonder if I should give this away. Are you going there anytime soon?
No, you can spoil it.
I'll go ahead and spoil it. If you're going this weekend, mute the podcast right now. I'll do this when I'm finished with the story. So anyway, it's pretty awesome because you go in and they're doing this whole time. They have you're standing in line and you're inside this building and they have videos playing. And welcome to the Mine. We're the new recruits. Glad you're here. Don't worry about anything. We got you covered. And blah 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 blah. You go on the other one, and then there's this sort of running. Welcome to the so and so mine, where we have not had an accident in years. And anyway, don't worry about the ghosts or whatever. And there's one point they're saying now. Remember, the gold that you mine, don't take any of it home with you. Because remember, it's our mine. It's our mine. And we know where to hide. We're miners. We know where to hide the bodies. It's like, just kidding. There's no problem. It's like, so there's not been a break on the line or whatever. So you go in and you're in this room, and it looks like a big screen right here. So I'm thinking, there's going to be this long story, and then they're going to shock you. You know there's a drop, right? So you already know that's happening. So we get in, she locks us all in. I mean, it's like a double thing here and a double thing here. I'm like, okay. You're looking at this big screen, lights go down, this guy comes up and he's kind of ghostly saying his brother double-crossed him or whatever, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm not kidding. It's like just a few seconds into the story and suddenly you're falling. So it's perfect because you don't see it coming. You're expecting a little bit more story, and then when you land at the bottom, there's like skeletons and this guy saying, yeah, my brother pushed me in years ago. Anyway, it was a hoot, man. It was really funny. It's like you're getting ready to brace for it, but they barely started talking and you're already falling.
At Universal Studios, they only had 2 rides that were really stupid. The Fast and Furious one, which you wouldn't think would be good, but it broke on us. Broke on a friend too. That was funny when he went. And then the Tower of Doom, which was with Dr. Doom, and it was one of those drop things, and it had everything there has a really good storyline ahead of it, but it was just a dumb ride.
Oh.
That one sounds brilliant.
Oh, it was, just mostly because you're not ready for it. And I think they actually take a picture of you as you're falling. Well, I didn't go back to see, but that probably was Okay, story's over. Well, we've spent all of our time talking about that, or I have, sorry about that.
That's okay. We're catching up.
This is a short one, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is getting late, we got started late. What do you guys want to talk about? The weekend, we didn't do a podcast this past week, so we could even talk about Church on the Green some if you want, or a message from yesterday, or experience, blah, blah, blah.
Church on the Green was a blast. It just went really well, I thought. I'm sad the recording was not as good. It just didn't come
The
out.
vocal mix was a little off.
Yeah, it was a little off, yes, because I really wanted to. I was hoping we'd be able to see Mike's song done like we've done with some of the other stuff, and
yes,
that was a bummer. But if you should have been here.
I had to be there. Yeah. Well, that's kind of always the case. I mean, we're constantly, until we have somebody who is just doing the streaming mix, and if that's you, come join us this Sunday.
Again, Bob, the Technonaut.
Technonaut. So It's like anything like an astronaut. You're the technonaut.
Yeah, but it's a big
But you're
NOT.
Technonauts. Well, anyway, but if you have those skills, yeah, contact me.
We could use you.
So, but that was great because that was Michael's original song.
Yeah.
And I liked how it kind of kicked in.
I enjoyed that. That was good. I didn't realize it was his until you said something about it at the end. I'm like, oh, that was really good.
Yeah,
The original song, it was a good one for sure.
Yeah, I was proud of him for that. He usually does his own music, right? So he's got some self-produced albums out there. And usually they're a different style. He's a real big 80s techno kind of fan. Not really into that. Although some of his songs are very cleverly written. So this was his first song to be used in worship, a worship service. This kind of cry to God to pull me back together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of fun. But it did sound better. Everything sounded better live.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. It was cool that a lot of people stayed around for the hot dogs. You were leaving because you were going. The story you were just telling. You were going to.
Yeah, we had
Have some hot dogs or
right,
whatever,
yeah.
I was glad that a number of people still.
Did you get any of Sandrine's samosas?
No.
Were
they good?
Yeah, see, I referenced that I think Sunday.
Yeah.
Something about
You
samosas.
mentioned that yesterday.
I
Yeah.
don't even know how to describe these things. They're like little triangular.
It's almost like a breakfast burrito and a pastry.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
it's a
Tofu, eggs, some spices in there. Very Indian based. As well, it's a kind of a
slight
crossover thing. Yeah, a little bit of heat to it. It was
They disappeared, man. They just brought a pan. It wasn't a potluck, but they just
Right.
brought them.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, our next deal's a potluck, man. Bring the samosas and
Sign her up for those.
sign up right now. Bring some samosas. But yeah, that was cool, and we ate every single one of those, including the tortillas that were
on the flatbread that she did too. That was really tasty. Oh my gosh!
It pretty much wiped out all the hot dogs too. So I think we planned that one just about right.
Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that your notes didn't blow away this time, but they kind of burned away.
So weird. I mean, I mentioned it because the last time, Jake, for real, actually 2 times we've done a church on the green out here, the wind has been blowing.
Yeah.
Right? So I usually have paper notes, just an old school deal. I like to do the paper notes because I can always, if there's something that kind of hits me that morning, I can just quickly write it on the side, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have used, iPad to reach from, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, they were, the last time for real, I'd be making a point and a page would blow literally off my stand and onto the floor, and I pick it up, I kept going. All right, after that happened like the 4th time, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. And they started like 4 at a time flying, and I just grabbed the rest of them and just started throwing them. So I just thought, all right, next time I'll use an iPad.
Yeah.
What I should have done was both. That's really what I should have done. That's the ultimate backup, right?
Yep.
So I should have had some paper. I could have put them in the plastic sleeves, and I could have spoken from that. But you know what? I felt pretty good about that message, though.
No one would have known if you had.
If I hadn't said
you didn't have to say anything. You would have.
Such a God thing. It was a totally different message than the one I had prepared is the one that I did yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And I'm glad now. I see why God allowed that to happen the way that it did. I mean, I was as prepared as I could be. I look back and I go, oh, okay, God was in that. And that's also what gave me a little confidence in that moment too. Mm-hmm. Is that it's like when you've prepared, you prayed, you're ready, and everything falls apart. It's like, okay, all right, God, what do you want to do here? And it was good because I've done that kind of not really street preaching. I've not really done that, but I've done where there are crowds of people outside where I was trying to keep and hold their attention. And that flow of the message was perfect because it was able to talk about relationships and talk about a relationship with God and how that's the foundation. So, yeah, I was real pleased with how that all went. I mean, I don't want that to happen every Sunday. But, yeah, it gave me a little extra hope because I just kind of knew God was doing something right there. So that was kind of cool. What else about that was Church on the Green.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, pretty fun. Then we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, you were not there.
I was not there, but we were.
Intimate, sir.
Yeah, it was small.
Yeah. At first I thought you were like, yes, we were really connected, man.
No, it's just
There was a few you, dude.
just a handful of us.
Yes, it was probably our smallest attendance in a very, very long time. But it also had a pretty good vibe when it was all said and done. I was surprised. And you were online.
We were online, yep. And which I hated not being there, but it was a good thing, ultimately. And I tested negative for COVID, by the way.
Woohoo!
Yay, I'm part of the statistics now.
That's why we're not sitting 6 feet apart.
Yeah,
Yep,
exactly.
And
I'm vaccinated.
I didn't even think about that. Hey, come on, Bob.
I'm negative!
You're negative. Oh, that's right. Why are you being so negative?
Is it Proverbs 23, a man who ends a dispute has honor, but the guy who, it's a fool who starts it?
I think so.
It's something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I kept on thinking of Mr. T.
Any fool can start.
Yeah, any fool can start a quarrel, and the only thing I could think of was Mr. T. Pity the fool.
I pity the fool. Pity the fool.
Mr. T. Yeah, and fool in biblically usually means somebody who's immoral, and not necessarily somebody who's foolish in the way we see it. But it works both ways very well on that one.
Yeah. I mean, you often see in Proverbs the fool contrasted with the wise. So yes, that is true. There's certainly that moral. You're outside of God's desire, because the thing is like Proverbs starts with this whole idea of the fear. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, right? So it's the idea that if you are, you have the right relationship with God and you're following the way of wisdom, anything opposite of that is foolish behavior. Although sometimes, it'll get real specific, like the skeptic or the scoffer. Maybe not skeptic, but it says the scoffer.
Yeah.
So it does kind of drill down a little bit. But yeah, all of that is so true. I mean, still, there's the moral one, the immoral one.
Yep.
Or the wise one, the foolish one.
The joker.
The one who is not seeking God's wisdom, the joker.
Yes, but not the fun joker.
Not the fun joker.
Wait a second.
He kills in a more funny way, the joker.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so weird that we do that with. There's a foolish thing. Putting our villains in superhero status.
Oh yeah,
that-
Suicide Squad. That's
Yeah, it's another one coming up. Yep.
I kind of want to see it.
The first one I actually watched twice, not for the reason you think. I was like, what? There's got to be something good in this movie.
No, it was not that good.
No, it wasn't that good. And the Joker on that one was played badly.
Yeah, he was.
He was the worst next to, Adam West.
Adam West was Batman. But you mean?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Batman, the Joker.
Oh, no, even he was better.
Adam West was awesome.
Even, who's that?
Not Sid Caesar.
No,
Caesar Romero.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
That's the old 60s.
Right,
Still
the
Batman.
one, yeah.
The one who would go, I mean, he just was silly, too silly.
Still better.
He was doing it for you. Yeah, he was better than that guy. All right, we're off in the weeds again.
Way in the weeds.
So, anything else from yesterday, or anything,
The setting up fried my brain, I'm afraid.
I will say at the end of the service, I thought it was pretty funny that Harper was walking around with that bag of blocks.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like a suitcase.
But yeah, I was surprised Leona let her bring the toys back into the room and stuff. Yeah, she was walking in with a suitcase full
They
of
were
blocks,
helping tear down. I mean, we were short-handed.
Right.
We put everybody to work.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
2-year-olds.
I was just thinking, how am I going to tell her we're not bringing those home?
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, it didn't go well.
You know what, I would mention that
a
because
few
that
weeks
was-
before.
That was a
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
well, she knew she had those blocks at home anyway, so it's like, all right, we'll just
That
go play
helps.
with those back at the house.
Very good. Those are actually blocks that were given to us by the school. I'm not even sure why the school had them though. They were in that makerspace, they were clearing it all out, and the principal said, hey, you guys can have these if you want. Sure, take them. Well, all right, guys, is there anything else we want to add before we wrap things up this evening?
I can't think of anything.
I've never seen you quite like this, Bob.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like tired from the week. You're tired, you've been sick a little bit.
Yep.
You had a
It's-
COVID scare, although it didn't turn out to be. Then you got here and you were tripping over wires.
Yep. Killing cameras.
No, you didn't kill a camera.
I did not kill the
What
camera.
I'm trying to say is don't say
Landed
that
on it.
don't say that on the
Sure.
recording. You've already incriminated yourself. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's gonna be
I'm
fun.
about accountability.
That's all right.
Maybe it's probably the one that's been blinking.
I would have
so.
told on you anyway. Just kidding. No, I would have told. Anyhow,
Some days are on days, some days are off days.
speaking of Sundays, well, that's not what you said, but
Yes.
it just rhymed. This Sunday, we're going to be outside, Church of the Park, at Arkansas Elementary School, so back outside again. And if you are normally, this is kind of like last week, that's why I said even in the email, it's like, this would be a good Sunday to be in person if you normally are online. Because we may be a little down from some of our regulars. I know we're going to be gone. Even Leona's not going to be there on Sunday. She's going to be in Tennessee. Just that time of the summer.
Michael going to help you with singing, maybe?
Might have Melissa help me with singing.
Oh, very nice.
Cool. Next you can come on and sing with me if you want.
Yeah,
Have a
leave a
guitar
little
to you?
rehearsal time and send me out.
Sing some harmonies?
I tried to pick up the guitar
No, did you?
yesterday. Yeah, I got some new strings on it and restrung it, and I was playing a little bit. Yeah, my fingers hurt still, but I couldn't get a lot of time in because like Harper was with me, and she would
Sing her
not.
song.
She would not. Well, I couldn't. She wouldn't let me. She would not stop. Like,
Oh.
and it's like, no, honey, let me like play a song for you. And I would play like 2 chords, and she would just come up and just start playing them again. It's like, okay, that's fine.
That's fun though.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, but I'm happy to hear you picked up your guitar again.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
it's been 5 or 6 years, so there's a lot of cobwebs on there. My fingers don't remember anything, and I gotta sit there and think about what I'm doing. And it's not coming natural, so it'll take a while to get back to where I was. But
I started thinking, I played one song on Church of the Green, just one song with the guitar. And then the week before, I can't remember, was that the Big Sunday? So I was on keyboard the whole time. So that was the only time I played guitar in like 2 weeks at least. And so Sunday I was okay, but when we got back up to do that song at the end,
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh no! Ow! It goes fast. those calluses, you gotta roll those dudes up.
yeah,
Okay, so this is weird, but we're going to wrap it up. But I will say this, unless you guys have anything else tonight.
Just a reminder that, if you don't mind,
31st?
July 31st, we've got our next movie night. Do we have a movie yet? Or is it a secret still?
It's only a secret because I haven't fully decided.
Yeah. There you go.
secret to literally everybody.
I think, even me,
8 o'clock at Arkansas Elementary. If
family friendly.
totally family friendly, we would love to have you. And on top of that, we'd love it if you want to volunteer. So talk to me.
Yeah, we do need some extra help on that night.
Yeah.
We're probably going to show the second Lego movie.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably what we'll do. So it's pretty family safe. But I always like on those nights to show movies that aren't very long. Because the longer you're out there, I mean, it's just like people.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to wait till sundown almost before you can start showing it. So that's the thing. I want to look at the runtime on that movie.
Yeah, Lego movie should be good.
Yeah, those are usually generally.
Because everything is awesome.
So, no. Nope. I'll stop you there, Bob. All right, man. So here's the deal. We meet every Sunday at 10 a.m. at usually at Arkansas Elementary School, but always online. You can find us on Facebook. It's Compass Church Colorado on Facebook. And we'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. You can discover more at compassdenver.com. All right, you guys, that's it. We're going to go into the final words. And I know you haven't even thought what your final words are, unless you've been thinking about it.
No, I haven't.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Final words.
So
this makes no sense at all.
Yeah. Love you guys. Love you. Likewise. Peace out.
You just did everybody.
So,
you did
yeah.
Morey, you did okay. And likewise.
Yep.
Okay,
You got me in
so
there. You got me in there.
Jake?
Final words. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I'm glad I'm here for my second time and I'm still screwing this up. So
Those are the greatest final words so far.
So am I.
Obviously, we didn't give Jake a whole lot of got a heads up on any of this, but that's what's fun. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
It makes it great. So I wonder if we could quote that again exactly next time.
I'll work on it. I'm all surprised and everything still, yeah.
I mean, Bob had sort of funny catchphrases he was doing until he finally landed on one that just made us laugh, and it was likewise, because he turned around and he just went, likewise. Like, what was that? I was stuck. All right. Well, you know what? That's all. I appreciate you guys very much. Glad you're here tonight. Miss you guys, Morey and Tracey. And grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight. And we are out. Peace.
Fade to black.
Peace.